Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Just a friendly reminder that as the season of Hajj is approaching and the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are approaching, that we remember that the story of Hajj or the legacy of Hajj is tied around Ibrahim alayhi salam, and all his stories, all that we read in the Quran and in the from the Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that his life was full of just one theme, and that was to never give up in the face of seemingly impossible situation. He was thrown in the fire, but Allah, even though the fire seemed hot and something that's going to burn, he kept his trust in Allah, he kept his yaqeen in Allah, he kept his reliance on Allah, and Allah changed the temperature of the fire, so he was actually comfortable in it. He was he had to leave his wife and his newly born son in the desert without having any provision, especially in those times. A desert was a desert, there was nothing. He left them just trusting Allah, and even in the face of that impossible habitat, Allah gave Hajar, may Allah please be with may Allah be pleased with her water and habitat and people, and made that place a livable place. Then the third story of Ibrahim alayhi salam is when he was commanded by Allah to slaughter his son, and he got that dream repeatedly, so he knew that that was from Allah, and he knew that that was his commandment, and he had no other choice but to face that reality. And when he faced that reality and he accepted that reality and he submitted to the will of Allah, is when Allah changed that reality for him. And instead of his son, it was actually a sheep that he ended up slaughtering. So the theme here, if you see, is that he submitted to the reality in front of him every time, knowing fully well and having absolute confidence that Allah is going to change that reality for him, whether it's the reality of the temperature of the fire, whether it's the reality of the condition of a desert, or it's the reality of having to let go of his son. So because he went through all of these and he did not give up in Allah, that is why Allah gave him that honor of building his house, which is what we do our tawaf around during Hajj. So let's not forget the main theme of this season is that just because something looks impossible does not mean that we cave. Dua changes